them that home feeling. It brings their morale up. The units fall in love with these animals. We have one now that we're part of who we're trying to rescue is a cat by the name of Jeremiah. This cat will not stop following Luke around no matter where he goes. He just is constantly following him around, and Luke clearly knows if he leaves him behind, he will probably starve to death, or worse. There are worse things than death, believe it or not, in parts of these areas that just they're not nice to animals, and it's just something that they know, and they want to really make sure that animal leaves with them.
So what does the day-to-day look like for your organization to make this happen, to make these soldiers be able to bring this pet home, or here in the United States, just connecting veterans with those animals? What does that look like for you guys at your organization?
So on an average daily basis, we are, because of the time zones, we are dealing with our logistical partners on the ground in those areas, in those regions, in that country. We have to, one, pick the animal up. We have to transport the animal. We have to get the animal to a veterinarian. Sometimes it's 400, 500 miles away. We have to quarantine that animal. A lot of times these animals need additional, some of them, we picked up just a couple of weeks ago an animal with a broken leg. So it needed special care. All these things factor into keeping that animal safe, healthy, and then working on bringing an animal back to the country. They just recently closed airports, one in Kuwait that closed for 2 weeks. So that was a problem. We were not able to transport animals, so we're on hold right now until that airport reopens. So we have all these different things that happen while we're trying to move animals and get them over to this country. And then when we get them here, we actually have to learn, when we get them here in America, then we have to get them to the family members of those active military so that when those soldiers come back, they can be reunited.
Yeah. I mean, for people who are watching right now and are saying, I feel like it's kind of uncommon that happens overseas, and how usual is this for soldiers to be connecting with stray animals? You say it happens a lot and it's a big deal, right?
It happens every day, all over the world, wherever we have troops stationed. It's really hard to turn your back on a starving or sick animal. Many times these military members find them, they are abused already, or they're sick, or just a little puppy where their mom was killed, or something really bad. And the right thing for them to do in their minds is to help that animal. And then they nurture it, and then it becomes like their best buddy. And then what do? You leave it behind to fend for itself, knowing the conditions and the surroundings that these animals are going to endure. So we've spoken to so many military members who find out about what we're doing, and they'll write us or call us and tell us, you have no idea how heavy my heart weighs on the animals I had to leave behind, because we didn't know an organization like yours existed. And they'll never, a day doesn't go by where they don't remember that animal that they had to leave behind, and it weighs very heavy on their heart. So when we do get that request, we jump into action.
I mean, numbers wise, like how many animals are you bringing back?
So we have brought back well over 100 animals. That's a combination between cats and dogs. And we have one here that we just arrived this week. That's Boy Dog. And let's see him. Come on, Boy Dog. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on. He's sleepy.
We all are. It's 20.
Come on, baby. Come on. That's Boy Dog.
He's like, it's the afternoon. So what's his story?
So Boy Dog was another dog that was following his soldier around, wouldn't leave his side. And
there he goes.
There he goes.
He went for it.
And that's Boy Dog, the sweetest dog ever.
Better late than never.
And his soldier is so excited to know that he is actually here safe. He's able to sleep at night. He's really looking forward to getting here and reuniting with Boy Dog. Boy Dog will be heading off to his home, and he'll be staying with his wife, of course, and soon they'll be reunited. But the thought of that soldier having to leave Boy Dog behind to fend for himself, and I think our military has a long-standing agreement: nobody's left behind, and you know they wouldn't want to do it to any living creature. So when we get that request, we want to help, and we do.
I mean, when you obviously hear the stories of these soldiers every single day, but how impactful are those stories? How much of a difference do these dogs and cats make for them in their day-to-day lives, especially in this year of 2020 where everyone is feeling a little bit abandoned right now?
We have to thank all of our active military on an everyday basis. It's never easy serving overseas, no matter where you are. You're away from your family. You're in conditions you probably have never been in before. It's just overall not a great experience, but they do it. And that's why we thank them every day. So when something like this comes into their life, an injured cat or dog that needs them, it works both ways. It's working on both ends. And they realize that, yes, this animal really needs me. As a human being, I want to help this animal. And as a really good person, I don't want to leave this animal behind. And it brings them such joy. I mean, they wake up with something to look forward to. They go to bed knowing that tomorrow that animal is going to be outside that camp waiting for them. And they'll before you know it, they're cooking this animal special, this dog special meals. And these dogs unfortunately have to dig out of burn pits and find scraps. Most parts of the world are very unkind to these dogs, and they suffer horrifically. And these soldiers know that, and that's what's really a concern for anyone who has to come back knowing they have left that animal behind.
Yeah, it's tough because he's walking around right behind you, sweet face, and just like a normal dog, like what you would see here in America. And it takes your organization to be able to save him, and then in turn also save these soldiers too. So you said your hands are kind of full right now. It's the holiday season, and is there any way that people who are touched by these stories and by your organization that could help you?
We besides the multiple cases coming in, two right now is Sergeant Mike and Private Luke. Sergeant Mike has a dog, Kane, that he rescued, and really loves this dog. And Private Luke has a cat by the name of Jeremiah, who, again, rescued. And I don't believe, and I can tell you that in their own words, they told us, they will not be the same people. They would not be the same people if they had to leave them behind. Yeah. And here's a perfect example of a success story. And we spoke about Lucas, who owns Boy Dog and rescued him. But the soldiers will tell you themselves, we will be different people. I think everyone who comes back from overseas, I think changes. Yeah. It would be unhuman to say that serving overseas, serving wartime, serving in dangerous environments doesn't change you. I think you would be inhuman to say it doesn't. But I can tell you that it definitely changes them if they have to leave these animals behind. Right. It's a very, very, no one expects it. They didn't go there to expect to fall in love with a dog. They went there to do their job. They went there to protect our country and to serve. But these things happen, and they find these strays, and these strays, are so happy to find them because they actually can get some fresh water. They can get food. They can get some love. They've never been petted before. They're always being chased and shot at, and these are things that these dogs are not used to. So the bond is incredible.
Yeah.
So they really want to get these animals back, and we do everything we can to help.
Well, it's so amazing to hear and see these success stories, and we hope you the best in the future of your organization. Is there anything else that you want to tell people who are watching right now who just have a heart for dogs and veterans also?
Well, we have a campaign right now for two, and Sergeant Mike and Private Luke. We have a campaign right now for Sergeant Mike and Private Luke, and one cat, one dog that we want to really make happen for the new year. And we have a fundraiser up, and if someone wants to help us fundraise for these animals and these soldiers, please, we could really use it. Mm-hmm. We are stretched with the amount of cases coming in. So if you have a few dollars to spare, please support these two active military members who will really thank you.
And can everyone follow along on those stories somewhere? Do you post those?
So we have our Facebook page, and we just posted Boy Dog, and we had Luke's story, Lucas' story, and we are going to have Mike. We will have Sergeant Mike and Private Luke's information on our Facebook page as well as our website.
Yeah. Well, I think maybe in the future it'd be really great to see them together and them rejoining here in America as safe. Such beautiful.
We would love to get the updated photos and videos once they get back here to share those moments with you and your audience. I think at that point you really say to yourself, wow, this was really worth it.
Yeah. Well, we will continue to obviously follow this here on NewsNOW. Robert, I want to thank you for joining us. And your little guy back there, I think, wants a few more treats. So
he wants more treats. Thank you, Daytona.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you.
You're watching NewsNOW from Fox.
All right, that was our own Daytona Everett speaking with that individual there from Paws of War, that really great organization that they were talking about that essentially takes these stranded, war-torn animals, dogs,